Good evening. Welcome to the forecast discussion for May 8th, 2014. It's, of course, the NFL draft this evening, but before we get to the draft, we have to talk about the weather. And I think you could tell that there's a warm front over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. The New York City metropolitan area is stuck in the upper 50s to lower 60s. It's cool. It's a little bit raw out with a few scattered showers out there. Most locations are dry though. A little bit drier than I thought it would be, to be honest with you, but I know why it's this dry. As you head towards the Delaware River, you will warm up very nicely into the mid to upper 60s. And then if you're in eastern Pennsylvania, right now it's in the mid to upper 70s. So you're talking about a 20-degree difference in temperatures from west to east along this warm front boundary. And this is pretty much what we're going to be seeing tomorrow as well, as that warm front is stalled out over the region with temperatures over portions of Connecticut and Long Island in the lower to mid 60s, possibly even upper 50s. The New York City metropolitan area in the upper 60s to lower 70s. And then the Philadelphia metropolitan area, much of eastern Pennsylvania, basically right along the Delaware River, mid to upper 70s, possibly even 80 degrees. So it's a pretty interesting divide here. But with all these differences in temperature, where's the precipitation? Where's the rainfall? You would think that this type of setup here with these type of temperature extremes would lead to heavy rainfall. Well, let's take a look at where the rainfall is. When we look at the latest radar, you can see where all the rainfall is. It's all focused over the Mississippi River Valley with showers and thunderstorms, and some of these thunderstorms are severe. Meanwhile, as you look over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, really not much of anything's happening here. Well, when we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, it becomes clear what's happening. You see how all these cloud tops are rapidly rising, and they're very cold. Remember, the lighter the color, the colder the cloud top, the stronger the lifting. Well, we're seeing very, very strong lifting along and ahead of this cold front here in the plains. And so as a result, all of the lifting and all the moisture is being robbed by all the convection or thunderstorms that are developing here in the plains and in the Mississippi River Valley. And for the most part, we're seeing that pretty much limited over the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area. Combine that factor with a northwesterly flow aloft, you end up with pretty much a overcast yet dry weather pattern, at least for today, over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. So we had periods of rainfall, which was associated with this disturbance right here in the morning, but this afternoon and this evening will be relatively dry. Can't rule out an isolated shower or two, but we get a nice little break, and then we see another wave of rainfall that's developing here over the Great Lakes drop south for tomorrow morning with another potentially wet morning rush hour. Wait for this cold front to move through. The good news, it's going to be a while before it does so. How about like Wednesday? Between now and Wednesday, how about summer-like temperatures? Temperatures in the lower to mid 80s. Threat for a thunderstorm each day, but it's going to feel more like August than it does in May. So we're definitely going to get a nice slow taste of summer here as we move forward. On the water vapor satellite picture, again, you kind of see another view here of what's suppressing our precipitation. All that convection is focused over the plains and over the Mississippi River Valley. Meanwhile, we have a nice suppressive convergent flow via our upper level low out here around the Canadian Maritimes, leading to that northwesterly flow of suppression of precipitation. But you can see all this mid-level moisture is lifting up towards the much of the East Coast, and it's going to lead to a very warm and humid. That's another thing too. It's going to be humid out there with these conditions. So let's take a look at the latest guidance. This is the latest model guidance from the Penn State UL website. We're going to use the GFS model guidance. I could have used the European or the Canadian, but they all pretty much are in line for the most part. So for this evening, again, I can't rule out an isolated shower, but most locations will remain dry. Temperatures tonight will only fall into the mid to upper 50s. As you head west, look for temperatures to be around 60 degrees. As you head east, look for around 55. For tomorrow, that warm front will approach the region. Again, for tomorrow, looks like we're going to be dealing with another round of rainfall. And again, it's going to be associated with that disturbance that's in the Great Lakes right now that will dive south and east for tomorrow morning's rush hour. That rainfall will linger on into the afternoon, but will start to break up, and we'll start to see that warm front lift northward. Temperatures tomorrow are going to be very interesting to watch. As you move towards Connecticut and Long Island, temperatures again range from the lower to mid 60s. New York City metropolitan area, upper 60s to lower 70s. Philadelphia metropolitan area, mid 70s to upper 70s, possibly even lower 80s. The warm front will finally clear the region on Friday, and then on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, warm, hot temperatures. Well, warm, hot. You get my point. Summer-like conditions. You get a Bermuda high pretty much in place here. Here's the Bermuda high. You get a southwesterly flow. The only negative to this pattern between Saturday and Tuesday is that there's going to be a threat for a thunderstorm each day. And these thunderstorms are going to be featuring very heavy downpours, frequent lightning, hail, and wind gusts over 50 miles per hour in some cases. And they'll be driven by these little disturbances here, like this one here, and this one here, and this one right here. So, pretty much a summer-like pattern. Temperatures during this time period on Saturday, lower to mid-60s for lows, upper 70s to lower 80s for highs. The only cool spot is going to be Long Island, where temperatures will struggle in the upper 60s to lower 70s because of the influence from the Atlantic Ocean. Sunday, upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, upper 70s to lower 80s for highs. A few isolated thunderstorms possible in the evening. Monday and Tuesday, low temperatures in the lower to mid 60s, high temperatures in the lower to mid 80s. It's going to feel humid too, so be prepared for that. Now the cold front will move through on Tuesday and on Wednesday with periods of heavy rainfall expected, and some of these thunderstorms could be quite strong. We could be looking at another flash flooding threat with this slow-moving cold front because we have all this tropical moisture in the atmosphere, and we're invading with a new, stronger polar air mass. So for Wednesday and Thursday, look for temperatures to fall back to pretty much where we should be for this time of year. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, upper 60s to lower 70s for highs, and periods of rainfall throughout the region with the potential for some flash flooding or urban flooding for the middle of next week. And then after that, well, the party's over. Cool air comes in. Temperatures will fall below normal. We're talking about upper 50s to lower 60s for highs. And it's going to be a crisp, almost a touch of early spring. One could even say early fall-like weather. Not that it's early fall-like, but it'll definitely feel like that. So we continue on our roller coaster for this spring and summer with our volatile weather pattern. That's your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.